We're here with another episode of Conversations and Connections. We're the official podcast of the Family Crisis Center of East Texas. I'm Stuart Burson, the prevention coordinator for the agency, and with me today I have Lieutenant Amanda Kennedy with the Stephen F. Austin State University Police Department. And I kind of thought we might take this opportunity just to talk about the services that the UPD provides, and especially when it kind of relates to what the Family Crisis Center's mission is in preventing domestic violence, sexual assaults, and things like that. Lieutenant Kennedy, thank you for coming by. Yes. I really do appreciate it. You know, we the Family Crisis Center and UPD, and really, and you have a good working relationship. I think you have come to speak to a lot of our events on campus and everything, and we really do appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess let's first talk about the various, maybe we'll start with the crime prevention programs that UPD offers, specifically, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, the ones that kind of fall in line with the Family Crisis Center's mission. I was noticing, first of all, you do have personal safety awareness. What does that entail, and what is that all about?
Okay, so the personal safety awareness, we speak with students and faculty, staff, and give them personal safety tips on how to, be safe on campus, such as, locking your car, locking your room, being aware when you are out walking around by yourself. Tell them the services that we provide for that, such as our shuttle bus, our police escorts. Even if they're going to be traveling, we'll provide them with tips on, making sure you have your destination where you're going. You have the Rave Guardian app download in case something happens. Being prepared all the time, not just on campus, but off campus as well. And so anytime someone requests that we speak for that, we will come and speak to them about it and tell them, just personal things that you can do for yourself to be safe.
Right. Well, I guess this is really, of course, what you mentioned is important for anyone,
Absolutely.
Regardless. But I guess, especially you think of college students, first time away from home. And obviously, probably many parents will educate their kids on how to be safe. But still, away from home for the first time and kind of, I don't want to say new to the world almost.
Right.
When you're away from home, that is valuable things for students to be aware of.
Right, because a lot of them are away from home, and this is the first time that they've ever had to, lock their residence door, or, I better lock my car, or, I don't know exactly where I'm going, so I better get directions on where I'm going, or what address am I at? We'll tell you, know where you are. That way, if you do have to call 911 from your cell phone, it's not like the movies where they can see, exactly where you are right then. So you need to know, where you're at. Keeping up with your property, because we do have thefts on campus. So, making sure that you do not leave your property unattended. Registering your property with the UPD registration, and that's where they can go in and put what the item is and the serial number, and that way if it's stolen, then we have the serial number. So not a lot of people think about keeping up with, serial numbers. So it's just personal things like that they can do. And we make them aware of it. We speak at all the orientations, which is new incoming freshmen, and then transfer orientations as well. So that's students that may be coming from another college. So we speak at all of those. We go to SFA 101 classes, which are all freshmen, and talk to them about the services UPD provides, the personal safety, Rave Guardian, our Jack alerts, and just make them aware of what their police department offers for them.
When you think a lot of these kids, being first-time college students, may be coming from small, tight-knit communities where they may have grown up not having to really worry about locking your car door necessarily, or things like that. I really didn't have it in my show notes, but I do want you to talk about, you mentioned a couple of times the Rave Guardian app. What is that?
Okay, so the Rave Guardian app is a personal safety app that they can download onto their phone. It's free of charge, and they can set a timer. And the timer, they can set it, say they're going to be walking from the library to their residence hall. And they can set that timer for, say, 10 minutes. And if they do not turn the timer off, then it's going to notify their guardians, whoever they have set up for guardians. And we always encourage them to set up UPD as a guardian in there, that it will notify those guardians that they have not turned their timer off. And so then we will get exact GPS locations of where they are. That way we can start going looking for them. And now it will give them a notification of, hey, turn off your timer.
Hey,
hey, hello.
And
so they won't, it won't just go off. So, and then also there's a panic button in there as well. So they can hit that panic button and it'll notify the University Police Department. Now they have to have us set up as a guardian. That way it will come to us. Now the 911, no, that one is not. It'll automatically come to our department. And so that will notify us even if they're off campus. So say they're traveling home, it will notify the University Police Department, and that way we can get them services for, contact the department that they're in and get them services. There's a directory in there, so it has like all the Family Crisis Center is in there, our health clinic, counseling services. There's many phone numbers in there that they can scroll through and see what service they may need and click on it. It also, our Jack alerts go through that system as well. So anytime there is an emergency on campus that we need to get out to the students, it's going to go through that Rave Guardian. And it's very important to have because if there's an emergency on campus, they need to know. And it'll prevent them from going into something, that they could have walked into. So it's a really great free app that they just download onto their phone. And they can put their personal information there, their name, if they want to put their vehicle, if they suffer from, have any type of medical issues that we may need to know, they can put that in there as well.
Can they put more than one guardian? Like, could they put UPD and their parents?
Yes, up to 5 guardians in there. So, yes.
Do you find that, is that the Rave Guardian app, is it well used? I mean, is it...
It is.
You think a lot of students are utilizing that?
Yes, a lot of students are utilizing that. Also, they can, I forgot to mention this part, they can submit an anonymous tip through there as well. And so we do have quite a few of those come through. And so, yes, it is utilized quite a bit.
Okay. So another program I do want to talk about, which again really starts lining up with the Family Crisis Center and what we do as an agency, is the sexual assault awareness programs you have. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and so we go out and speak to the students at orientations also as well, and a lot of the residence halls, they'll request this program. So the sexual assault awareness is just letting them, giving them tips on, if they're going to go out, if they're going to drink alcohol, if they're going to be alone, giving them tips on being safe. Also, in the event of if they are sexually assaulted, what to do. Notifying the police, coming to, reporting it. We encourage them to report the sexual assault. That way we can provide them with the resources that they need and let them know of the Family Crisis Center, our counseling services, the Herald's House for the SANE exams, and letting them know that these services are available for them, that they are not alone in this, occurrence, that, we will help them any way that we can.
Sure. One thing that when you were talking kind of brought up to my mind, because you just talk about new student orientation, and we always have a table at new student orientation. And I don't know if in your position, you're talking mostly to students. I don't know if you really see this, but we've always have talked about within our agency, when we have our table, like at new student orientation, and a lot of times students are with their parents, and they see what we are and what we do. You either have parents who want every bit of information that they can get their hands on for their student, or, oh, that's never going to happen.
Right.
We don't even need to look at your table. And, we always talk internally, I hope and when students do and parents do come to our table, we'll say, we hope you never, ever, ever need to use our services. But this is what we are. This is, this is reality.
Right.
And you need to know this information. Even if you never use us, you have our information, give it to a friend. And I don't know if like I said, you're talking to students, so I don't know if you ever kind of see that attitude. Well, I'm smart enough. That's never going to happen. And again, hope it never does happen.
And we do, like, especially with the police table, because, we're at every orientation as well. And some parents, because we do talk to parents as well at orientation. So there's times that it's just parents in there, not the student.
Right. Sure.
And there are some parents that they want everything. They want to know, hey, where's the police department at? Are you here 24/7, et cetera? And then there's some that's like, oh, we'll never need the police department. Well, like I said, I hope you do not, but at least know that we are here, because you never know. You might need a jump. You might need a lockout.
Yeah, it may not be some dire
law enforcement, like you said,
emergency.
Right.
Like hopefully you're not the victim of a crime, but you may still need assistance.
You might see a victim of a crime, and so
exactly.
So yes, we do see kind of a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. At least they know that we are here to help them, and that we are on campus. So,
and I guess kind of going along with that, I want to talk a little bit about the RAD classes. What is RAD?
Okay, so RAD is Rape Aggression Defense. This is taught by instructors at our class, at our department. Excuse me. We actually have to go through training through RAD Rape Aggression Defense. That is a national-based organization that teaches you to teach this class, and so we have instructors that go through the 3-day class to be able to teach this class, and we teach them basic self-defense moves to protect themselves in the event of sexual assault, attempted kidnapping, family violence, just to protect themselves. And also we bring up being aware of how they can be safe on and off campus anywhere that they go. And like I said, basic self-defense moves that we show them, and then they get to use those moves on a bag, so they know how they're training, etc. And at the end of the class, if we have enough instructors, we'll put them through scenarios, and they get to use those techniques in that event. So now we offer it for men as well. So we have a women
you were
and
reading
class.
my mind.
Yes.
That was going to be my next question. If that was, because it used to be just for women.
Yes, just for women. And so now we do have a men's class.
That's
that
good
is
to know.
Taught by our department.
Because we were talking about that at the office the other day, and someone was still saying that, and I think that's just for women.
Yeah. So there is one class for women, and there is a class for men, and they can find that on our website, and they can see who they need to contact. And so, it's a great class. We encourage everyone to take it.
Yeah.
13 and up. If you're 13 and below, you have to have a parent.
So you don't even necessarily have to be a SFA student.
No, you don't even have to be a student. We offer this to the community as well. So we go off campus and teach. We've taught at high schools, nursing homes, any churches. Anybody that requests a class will go out.
Well, great.
To them. Free of charge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to move a little bit about, or kind of turn things a little bit. How important is it for universities like SFA to have their own self-contained police department? I remember back in the day, God forbid I mention this, I was at Sam Houston, and we had a police department. I was aware of the police department. And in my mind, and maybe students even have this notion, in my mind, they were there to give you parking tickets if you parked in the wrong spot. And probably a lot of students may not realize you're more than just traffic.
Oh yes.
Although that's what your thing is, but you're a full service, however you want to call it, police department. And how important is that for universities to have that?
It's very important because we focus on the campus, and so almost every university and a lot of your junior colleges have police departments.
Are they required to have their own police department? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, I was just curious.
Required.
Okay.
Now some do. I know they have to. I think have some type of police or at least some type of security. I'm not sure if they have to have it.
All right. Well, I was just curious. That just popped in my
mind. But almost every university and a lot of your junior colleges are going to have a police department. That way you can focus on the campus, because the city police, they have a city, a whole city on campus. I mean, we're our own little city just about. Because,
well, I guess that was one of the things I wondered too. Well, you're in the city of Nacogdoches. Why couldn't, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, but why couldn't, Nacogdoches PD just patrol the campus also.
And because there is a lot more than just patrolling the campus, because you are going to get calls of service. You're going to get alarms, fire alarms, etc. And so it's a lot for a city police department to do, as well as city and police. And then also, as far as a university, us being there, we're there 24/7, 365 days out of the year. And it just makes your campus, safer to me, having your own police department on campus that can focus on providing, the services that the students need. Because not only do we patrol, but we provide them with escorts, jumps, lockouts, a shuttle bus. There's a shuttle bus that we run throughout the night, Sunday through Thursday, that'll give students rides to certain locations. So there's a lot more services that we're able to provide by having our own police department. And also, when you're a university and you receive any type of financial aid, you have to be in compliance with what's called the Clery Act. And the Clery Act requires universities to submit crime data. You have to have certain personal safety programs for the students, and also timely notifications that have to be issued. And so having your own police department gives you the ability to be in compliance with that as well.
Okay. All right. You've mentioned, I think, a couple times also about the escort service that you guys offer. I think this is a really awesome service.
Absolutely.
Let's kind of describe what that entails.
Okay, so the police escorts, if a student needs, a walk to their residence hall, or they're going to be walking to the parking lot. And this isn't just for students, this is for faculty, staff as well, or anybody that is on our campus. If you feel that, I better probably not walk alone, I'll call the police and get an escort, we'll do that for you. So it's a police officer that'll show up and, either walk you or drive you to where you need to go. And then also, like I mentioned, this shuttle bus that we have at nighttime that runs, like I said, Sunday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. And the students can get on the bus and just ride to the next bus stop, wherever they need to go. It gets them to closer to their location, and it's free of charge. All they got to do is get on it and ride. Yeah.
Do you guys still utilize the emergency boxes, the call boxes?
We do.
On campus?
We still have the call boxes on campus, and so they're spread throughout the campus for the students to use, and we encourage them to use those, and also make sure they have that Rave Guardian app.
I guess the reason I asked that is, with everyone having a cell phone, the Guardian app. I just didn't know how relevant, the emergency boxes still are. They still play a part.
They still, still play a part just for that extra safety. But we do see that the Rave Guardian is more utilized than the call boxes. But it still has that safety measure there for them to use.
So, don't necessarily need to get into the details, but I know there's an annual report that comes out every year regarding crimes on campus and everything. Can you talk just a little bit about how SFA compares to other universities in the state when it comes to campus safety?
I'm not real sure about the comparison. I feel like we're pretty safe. We do the best of our ability to keep the campus safe as we can. At one time, a few years ago, we were ranked in the top 100 as one of the safest campuses in the nation. And so we take campus safety very seriously. That's our number one top priority, is to provide a safe living and learning environment. But, as far as our department, we have 25 police officers. And so on a given day, you have 3, or even night, because we patrol at night as well, you will have 3 to 4 officers patrolling the campus. And so that, that's a lot of officers to keep the campus safe. And so we try as hard as we can to make that campus safe. And it's not just us. We encourage everyone on campus. We cannot do this alone. And so if you see something, say something. And so it takes a community to make the community safe, if you know what I mean.
And I guess I just wondered, how can you compare a smaller campus like SFA to UT Austin, or Texas A&M or something, which these are, these mega huge campuses.
Big campuses. Now, of course, you probably are going to see their crime statistics are going to be higher than ours because we are a smaller campus. And some of your universities have multiple campuses that they have to report those crime statistics for as well. So, comparing those, that would be a little... not much to compare because they're so large and just have more of a population, So we have, close to 12,000 students when they're going to have 40,000, so.
So when we began, I did mention how you are always, seems like you're willing to come speak. If we have a program or an event on campus, you're one of our go-to people
right.
to come and talk. Is sexual assault prevention kind of a passion project for you, like for a better word, I guess, or is it something that you really feel a need to talk about with students?
Yes, it is one of my passions. Sexual assault prevention, family violence, dating violence. For some reason, it has always been one of my passions is to be able to help other women, help them in any situation that they have, listen to them, give them guidance, give them all the resources that are available for them. I've always been one of those that wants to help others that cannot help themselves.
Yeah.
And so it's quite the passion. And I love the Family Crisis Center. They do such great things, and just any way that we can help them and we work together to help others. That's what we're here for, is to help others.
You probably answered this next question I'm going to ask you, about, what advice would you have for SFA students or just anyone when it comes to being safe on campus? And I like what you said a few minutes ago, if you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
I think so many people, well, oh man, that's bad, but it may not be really anything. I may be blowing it out of proportion, or I hate to say it, but well, that's none of my business. That's something that they're doing. But people got to know that.
Yes,
that, say something.
Say something.
If it winds up not being anything, so be it.
Absolutely not a big deal. A lot of people are like, well, I didn't know if I should really call the police. It does not matter. If you see something or something has happened that you're like, well, should I call them or not? Just call. Let us make that determination of what needs to happen. Like I said, we're here 24/7. A lot of people's like, well, we didn't know if you were here. Absolutely. We are all, there is always officers on campus, even during breaks. You just never know what that situation could be. So just say something and we will determine, we'll figure it out. Download the Rave Guardian app. You can even submit it anonymously. We don't even know who you are. We'll come over and check it out and see what's going on. So, to stay safe, see something, say something. Always be aware of your surroundings. Keep your personal property locked up at all times. Lock your doors. Download the Rave Guardian app. Very important. And also the Jack Alerts. And just know that the police department is there on campus to help you if you need anything.
Okay. Now here comes the interesting stuff here. Are you from this area? Are you a native East Texas
Born
person?
and raised in Nacogdoches.
Really?
Yes.
So you've never left?
Nope.
Well, I don't say never left, but you've been here all born and raised.
All born and raised. Love Nacogdoches.
What got you interested in law enforcement?
As a kid, I always wanted to be in law enforcement. Always had a high respect for police officers and was like, that looks like a neat job to do. And so it was something that I always wanted to do. I felt that I was put here to serve a purpose and to serve my community. And being able to give back to the SFA community, the Nacogdoches community, and being there for others when they don't know how, like they may need advice on, I have this situation, what can I do? Just being able, like I said earlier, to protect others that cannot protect themselves. And that's just what I felt like I was here to do.
Have you always been with UPD?
So prior, I was at the Nacogdoches Sheriff's Department and was assigned to the narcotics division. And so I worked undercover and did that until it was going to close down. And then I came to UPD in 2005 and was like, this is my jam. This is where I need to be. And so I love the SFA community. It's great. There's so many great faculty and staff there. And just it's one big family and home there. And that's where I will be until I can retire. Or they let me stay there. But I love serving the communities and the faculty. I mean, the students in the community and the faculty and staff there. I always tell people, if you have a question, please call us. Let me know. If you want to call me, here you go. But it's just, this is what I think I was born to do.
Awesome. All right. Lieutenant Amanda Kennedy with SFA University Police. Thank you for taking some time out and coming over here to do this for me.
Thank you for having me so much.
If you feel like you need our services at the Family Crisis Center, we do have an 800 toll-free number that's answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 1-800-828-7233. Also, be sure to subscribe to Conversations and Connections. You can do that through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much any podcast service of your choice. And remember, be the voice, if not for you, for someone else.